Shalom to the elect of Israel. Gotta give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well, and a sincere salutation to all the ark and pushing the truth throughout the four winds of the earth, quicking up the hope for the elect. Shalom to the artwork who are listening and learning. I'm Mike Zarya, coming at you with another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. And this is just a short video on this female Edomite female who's running for president, and just showing you the message, one of the messages that she's delivering in her speech. And she was saying how that her forefathers need to repay Jake's their reparations, restitution, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to play this clip.
For 2020 is on. The wide range of potential candidates includes several members of Congress, a billionaire former Starbucks CEO, and our next guest, who is the one with the largest social media following of any declared candidate so far. Marianne Williamson, Democratic candidate for president, best-selling author, and activist. Marianne, thank you so much for being with us. You are well known to millions of people who have read your books, including A Return to Love, but some people who follow politics closely might not have seen you. So I want them to get familiar with where you're coming from politically. You have said we have a problem with the psychological fabric of our country, as a low-level emotional civil war has begun in too many ways to rip us apart. In order to deal with that, we must address it on the level of our internal being. That's on your campaign website. So how exactly does a president address this?
We need a moral and a spiritual awakening in this country, and nothing short of that is adequate to really fundamentally change the patterns of our political dysfunction. There are many things we need to discuss, many things we need to name. We have an economic and amoral economic system. We need to discuss this. We have millions of American children who are living in chronic despair and trauma. We need to discuss this. We have systemic racism, layers of systemic racism that are actually leftovers from slavery. We need to discuss this. And while we're good at preparing for war, we do not wage peace on the levels we need to. We need to discuss this. You know, Franklin Roosevelt said that the administrative aspects of being president were secondary. What really matters, he says, is moral leadership. We need someone to articulate what's really happening, the deeper levels of our moral dysfunction. I have had a 35-year career in naming and transforming those dynamics, and I think that that's my qualification for the presidency at this time.
Your campaign has a number of proposals already out there listed on your website, some very specific. You call for universal health care, Medicare for all, make permanent the middle class tax cut, provide free higher education, including free tuition for public colleges, introduce government support for children's services, establish a Green New Deal. All of these, in some cases, sound like many of the policies for the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. Do you feel it's necessary to come up with a way to pay for these all?
Well, that's such a canard in this country. Anytime somebody wants to have a $2 trillion tax cut where you give 83 cents of a dollar to the richest among us, nobody's supposed to ask, how are you going to pay for that? Anytime somebody wants to have a $2 trillion war that turned out to be the biggest foreign policy blunder in our history, nobody's supposed to ask, how are you going to pay for that? The truth of the matter is every dollar that we invest in education is money we are investing in our economy. If you really want a vibrant economic system, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you take care of your children today. Our current economic system does not lead to a vibrant economy. It leaches when you have short-term profit maximization for huge corporations as your bottom line. You're allowing market forces to replace democracy as your organizing principle for your society. You're not building a strong economy, and we need to name that, see that for what it is. It is propaganda that serves a veiled aristocratic system. We want, of course, a vibrant economy in the United States. What you do is unleash the creativity and the productivity of the American people.
You know, it's interesting. Again, some of these policies, not too dissimilar to what Bernie Sanders ran on 4 years ago when you supported him in the Democratic primary 4 years ago. Why haven't you waited to see if he jumps in before declaring your own candidacy?
I certainly agree with many of the things that Bernie Sanders says, many of the things that Elizabeth Warren says, I'm simply having a more expanded conversation. It's like an integrated model of health and healing. You need more than external remedies. You also have to address the psychological and emotional and spiritual issues that both cause disease and help to ameliorate it when it occurs. We need an integrated model of politics. The political conversation we have now is so stuck on the externals, but that is inadequate. We need to talk about the larger panoply of what is actually happening. Otherwise, you do what our political system does. You water the leaves of our democracy, but you're not watering the roots. And that's what I'm introducing, a conversation that I feel is the only one that is adequate to navigating and transforming.
Is that what you would do as president? Is the conversation what you're promising as president?
First of all, the bully pulpit of the presidency is not to be undervalued. But even more importantly, it is the consciousness of the president that then drives his or her policy decisions, both in our domestic policies and in our international policies, where there are underlying ways in which we are not addressing our deeper humanitarian values and our deeper democratic values. Our democracy and our capitalism has swerved off course from an ethical center. I believe, yes, it is the job of the president to name this.
And again, we just have a short time. I mean, you do have specific proposals and policies, and I'd like to get to a couple more of them right now. You are a candidate who believes that African Americans should receive reparations for slavery, specifically $100 billion paid out in a 10-year annual installment of $10 billion. Is this symbolic, or do you think this money goes to some practical purpose?
This is not symbolic at all. At the end of the Civil War, General Tecumseh Sherman promised to every formerly enslaved person 40 acres and a mule. And those 40 acres and a mule would have given a formerly enslaved population an opportunity to reintegrate, to integrate into free society.
Now, this is what I want to say. To my paying reparations, $100 billion for so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because when they say African American, they speaking about all 12 tribes of Israel, man. Now, $100 billion ain't gonna do nothing for all 12 tribes of Israel. They done slaughtered hundreds of millions of so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. And she talking about $100 billion? What is $100 billion gonna do for all the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians on the planet today? What would $100 billion do? Nothing, man. We don't want your money. We want your blood. We want your head on a stick. That's what we want. We don't want no money, man. Okay? The Lord said, wait ye upon me, and I'll rise up to the prey. Because guess what? You Edomites is finished, man. And this is another Edomite complaining of an ungodly father, man. So this is Job chapter 20 and verse 10. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods, which they will, in the time when Yahawashi shall come back. And this is verse 15. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. So this is not going to be by your will. You want to give $100 billion or $100 trillion. No, it's going to be by the will of the Heavenly Father and His Son when Yahawashi shall come back. Job 20:15, he hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asp, the viper's tongue shall slay him. Okay? Meaning wickedness. That snare that you laid for yourself is going to slay you, man. Because Yahawashi got you in a trick bag, okay? He said he was a little displeased with the nation of Israel, but you Edomites helped forth the affliction. That's Zechariah 1:15. This is verse 18. It say, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall a restitution be. And he shall not rejoice therein, because he had oppressed and had forsaken the poor, because he had violently taken away an house which he builded not. Okay? You Edomites, you're going to pay but it's going to be with your blood, man. Yahawashi is coming back for vengeance, man. Okay? We don't want your money, man. We want your head on a stick, man. Okay? Bloodshed. This is Jeremiah. Matter of fact, let me go to Habakkuk real quick. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse. Start at 4. Behold, the soul which is lifted up in him. Behold, the soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. But the just shall live by faith. And that's why we wait on Yahawashi to come back to wreak havoc on you devils. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. He keepeth at home, because you go in all these other countries and take over and take what you want to take by the sword, because that's your blessing, your military power, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death. That's why in the movie Planet of the Apes, the guy said that they are the harbingers of death, man. Because I see right here, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death. Because you is the harbingers of death, man. And cannot be satisfied. And you can't. Okay? But gather unto him all nations, and heap unto him all the people and all people. And that's what you do, man. You just take and take and take, man. Okay? You eat it, man. All you eat money do is take, man. But the Lord said you shall vomit all of that up, man. Okay? For who? For the nation of Israel, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian, Haitian will be repaid, man. Okay? 100-fold. But guess what? These Edomites gonna pay with their blood, man. Verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him? And that's what we do, man. On the highways and byways, week in and week out, man. On the unicorn, every day, putting up lessons on you demons, man. You devils. Okay? Let you know with a taunting proverb, man, with parables, that you are going to be destroyed by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi soon. And the elect of Israel. Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Okay? That's the point, man. Woe to you who increaseth that which is not yours, man. This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. This is what you devils do, man. But you're going to have to pay it back. But it ain't going to be on your will, man. It's going to be the will of Yahawah, Yahawashi, man. This is Jeremiah 16 and 19. And this is what she talking about, paying back 100 billion. 100 billion won't even feed not even 1% of Israelites, man. Okay? 100 billion won't even feed 1% of Israelites. This is Jeremiah 16 and 19. O Yahawah, my strength and my fortress and my refuge, in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come up to thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no pleasure. So now they're complaining, man, because they see that they've been lied to, okay? They've been had, man. Their fathers lied to them. This is Ecclesiasticus 41 and verse 7. The children will complain of ungodly fathers, because they shall be reproached for his sake. So yeah, these children, these Edomite children, they complain of their forefathers, okay, of their ungodly fathers, man. And they know that they're going to be reproached for his sake. And let's prove that. Isaiah 14 and 21. And it reads, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the lands, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So these Edomites really complaining on the sly, man. Jake don't understand. Okay, 2/3 you don't understand why they be saying things like this. We need to pay them back reparations, because they are complaining of ungodly fathers, man. And they know now that they got to go into slavery, man. Okay, that they're going to be destroyed for the thing that their forefathers did. No, man, we want your blood, man. Okay? We want your blood, man. This is Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Mount Seir talking about you Edomites, man. You so-called white people. And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahawah power, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahawah, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. It said by the force of the sword. In the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahawah power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood. Even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. So you Edomites are done, man. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, in thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolation, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi. Hey man, so you are finished, man. Okay? We don't want your reparations, man. We want your blood, man. We want your head. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and established a city by iniquity, man. Okay, you built North America and all these other countries, all these other cities around the world on the blood, sweat, and tears of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You built everything about North America and all your other cities around the world, man. Okay, all your other cities, all your other countries, all your other mountains and valleys and hills. You built all that on the backs of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And you're going to have to pay for it, man. With your blood, man. Okay? With your blood, man. Tell you in Psalm 149 that your kings and nobles shall be shackled with chains of fetters and iron, man. Okay? And we shall bash your babies by the head against the stone, man. Okay? Isaiah 13 and 16. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. Okay? Now the precept to that is Psalms 137. Because what you did to us, it shall be done to you. Psalm 137. He shall be, it say, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone. Because you did the same thing to us, man. Okay? You did the same thing to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, and Haitians, man. And you got to pay for that. Not with your money, man. With your blood, man. Okay? Numbers 35 and 33 tell you that you should not shed blood in the land. And the only way the land can be cleansed by him that sheddeth the blood. So you Edomites slaughtered all these people, man. Okay, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, man. Your blood got to be shedded for that. We don't want your money, man. We want your life, man. Thus saith Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and your life will be taken for that. This is the last precept. This is Ezekiel 25 and 14. And it reads, I'm going to start at 12. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah power, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahawah power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger. So the Lord said he's going to put his anger on us to slay you devils, man, when he gives his elect men that spiritual power. And according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Hey, so the time coming, man, when you devils is going to be slayed. We don't want your reparations, man. We want your life. We want your head on the stick, man.
What happened instead, of course, was black code laws were passed in the American South, which ensured subpar social and political and economic opportunities for the former slave population. This was not addressed for 100 years until the Civil Rights Movement. And while the Civil Rights Movement gave voting right back, although that has been chipped away since 2013, and gave a lot of political opportunities that had not been there for the 100 years previous, it did not address the fact that we have not yet paid that debt. Germany has paid 89.
You will pay that debt though. You know you haven't paid it because your life is still here on earth. You're still walking around ruling with your democracy. No, you haven't paid it, but guess what? It's happening every day though, on a small level. Because you got the opioid crisis, you got the suicide crisis, you got the OD crisis, and you got they are dying faster than they can be born. The Edomites. Okay, that was in the news. The white people, so-called white people, are dying faster than they can be born. So it's happening on a small level. But guess what? No, you haven't paid, but you will, because you still killing Jake every day with the gun, man. Okay, with his sword, man.
$1 billion in reparations to Jewish organizations since World War II.
And they did.
Ronald Reagan signed the American Civil Liberties Act, by which we paid every surviving member who had been interned during the World War II in the Japanese internment camps $22,000.
Right, they've been paying all the other people back. But what about Jake?
To a council that would apply this money to economic projects and educational projects of renewal for that population is simply a debt to be paid. And until we pay it, we will deal with these issues.
Hey, and they will pay, man. Okay? You heard her just say that out of the horse's mouth, man. We will deal with this. Yes, you will, man. Okay? But Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. You will pay, man. This is Ezekiel 36. It reads, therefore, thus saith the Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. Okay? Idumea is the Greek word for Edom, man. You Edomites, which have appointed my land in their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Hey, guess what? You got to pay for that, man. The Lord said you demons will be destroyed. This is Ezekiel 39:23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore he hid out my face from them and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. So the Lord telling you, Edomites, listen, they went in captivity because of me, not because of you. Okay? And what did you heathens do? You helped forward the affliction, man. Let's read that. This is Zechariah chapter 1, verse 15. And it reads, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen. He said, I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. See y'all comfortable and laid back, thinking this is all good. No, man, the Lord finna jack you devils up, man. For I was but a little displeased with the nation of Israel. He was but a little displeased. He said, and they helped forward the affliction. You Edomites helped forward the affliction, man. Okay? Guess what, man? Hey, the big payback, man. Okay? I got like 3-4 lessons on the big payback. You Edomites will be paid back, man. Double. Okay? Double. As a matter of fact, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, and verse 22. And it reads, Therefore, whereas thou doest chasten us, see, we got chastened, okay? That scourge of our enemies, he say, though, and read again, this is our Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 22. Therefore, whereas thou doest chasten us, thy scourges our enemies 1,000 times more, to the intent that when we judge, we shall carefully think of thy goodness. And when we ourselves are judged, we should look for mercy. So guess what? You Edomites is going to have to go 1,000 times harder for slavery, man. Okay? That double portion, that double cup that you got to drink, man. Okay, tell you that in Revelation 18. It tell you that in Jeremiah 16. And it tell you that in Jeremiah 51, man. Okay? You Edomites going to pay double, man. Everything that you have done to the nation Israel. Okay? You will pay double, man. So guess what? Get ready, man. Because your judgment is not, man. And you finna pay horrible, grievous deaths, man. Okay? It said the slain of the Lord shall be many, man. Okay? That's going to be on 2/3 J. But I'm talking about you Edomites, man. You Edomites. You got a great judgment, man. A double portion, man. 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, man. So Lord's willing, that was edifying. Gotta give our praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well. In a sincere salutation to all the option pushing the truth throughout the four winds of the earth, waking up the hopefully elect. Shalom to the Yahawah for while listening and learning.
Not a novice to politics, you've been a political activist for years. You also ran for Congress. People don't know this, in California in 2014. What do you see as your path to victory here for the Democratic nomination?
Oh, yeah. Let me read this. Jeremiah 50:33. Thus saith the Lord, Yahawah of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. And we still in the hand of these Edomites, thus this day, man. Okay? This is Exodus 20 and 16. And it reads, Exodus 21 and 16. And he that stealeth a man and sells him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death, man. So you Edomites gonna die for the things you did to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indian, Haitians. Okay? So we got still found in your hand this day, man. Okay? Israel and Judah were oppressed together. And all that held them captive refused to let them go, man. And you is not letting us go, man. That's why we need our Redeemer, our Savior, to come back and deliver us, man. Okay? Shalom.